we get ready to rock and roll into fight number 3, fight fans, please put your hands together for the blue corners, Keith Bullock.
Somebody that we're comfortable talking about, right? Keith Bullock, he's been around the block a million times for WXC. One of the toughest guys to step in this steel, and love seeing him fight. I'm not too excited about his start in the pro careers, being 0-2, but he's the kind of guy, though, that can probably win just about any fight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've had the opportunity to train with Keith. He's super tough, just a scrappy guy, man. And him and Deven Brown had an absolute war as amateurs.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting nothing but the same. And Deven making his pro debut. Keith took this fight on short notice, kind of a testament to the warrior that he is. This guy, win, lose or draw, this guy comes to fight, and he comes to put on a show.
Yeah, one of the things that I really love about him is that, like, there's no quit in him. You cannot break Keith Bullock. That's the thing I really like. I've seen him take fights. I've seen him be down, and win. I've seen him come, this is a tough guy. I just want to see him really dig into his training, because he's got so much potential, man.
Yeah, Keith, a really athletic guy, like you said. Get with the right gym, put in the necessary work. He has a ton of talent. But again, initially this was supposed to be Deven Brown and Jamie Espinoza.
Oh, man.
And that would have been a banger. But Espinoza unfortunately suffered a hamstring injury, and on short notice, Keith Bullock said, listen, I'll fight him. And here we go, Harley. I mean, our game.
Last time was a war, and I expect nothing less from these guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the red corners, Deven Brown.
Here we go, Deven Bad News Brown. Former WXC amateur champion at 45, at 55.
Yep.
An absolute grinder, a guy that had, one of the more decorated amateur careers within the state of Michigan, making his
I think
profession.
he held every record, every belt, everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the kid's a grinder, former state champion in wrestling. He's got one of the more experienced guys in mixed martial arts from the state of Michigan. Jake Short in his corner.
Yeah.
Devin's getting really serious about his training. I've spoken with him about this at length.
That is so exciting, too, because that kid has so much potential. And Jake Short is definitely a guy who can help him, put things together.
Yeah, Jake Short is one of those guys that kind of honestly a pioneer in terms of Michigan mixed martial arts. A guy who's been
one
in
of the
cage.
originators.
Yeah,
yep.
A guy who's been in the cage of Diego Sanchez, Melvin Gillard. He's fought all over the world, from here to Australia. Yep. Tons of experience, and being a wrestler, his style shoots perfectly well with a guy like Deven Brown and one of his stablemates, Adam Sidoni. So I'll be interested to see how Jake's expertise helps Deven in the cage.
I cannot wait to see this. This looks like it's going to be a really great matchup. It's going to be a really great fight. And Deven Brown is one of them guys who has, I don't know where his ceiling is. It's very high, that's for sure. The toughness factor alone, athleticism and grind. I mean, he's going to be a tough guy to deal with in the pros. Yeah,
Deven Brown is the exact opposite of a quitter, man. You got to throw a kitchen sink and some to, put this guy out. And that goes a long way in a sport like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest will be in the 155-pound weight division. It is now time for your Warrior Xtreme Cagefighting formal introductions. The following contest is being brought to you this evening by Vengeance MMA here, with some sweet deals in the back and some free shirts for you during that toss-out. Stop back and say hey and thank you to Vengeance MMA here. Happy to have them in the house here tonight. Introducing your fighters. First, fighter to my right tonight, he is on the blue GNC corner. He comes to us in the white trunks, trimmed in Vengeance black. Standing in at 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing 155 pounds. Putting his 0-2 record on the line here tonight on behalf of the Southwest Fight Club. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Keith the Pitbull Bullock! His opponent across the cage and to my left. Tonight, he is out of the red Larry Flint's Hustler Club corner. Coming to us in the red, white, blue trunks. Standing in at 5 feet 9 inches tall. Weighing 155 pounds. With a background in wrestling, boxing, and brawling. He comes to us making his professional mixed martial arts debut in the cage here tonight. Former amateur 125 and 155 champion. Sponsored by Mona Bay Energy, Hometown Bar, Rick Sports, and a former state champion wrestler. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Deven. Say hello to the lovely Kayla Wall. She makes her way around for round 1 action.
Make it look like
Your referee in charge, the one and only Mr. Doug Gallegos.
Excited to have Dougie back in the cage. And this fight's about to get started, and Deven looks like he cannot wait.
Here we go, Harley.
Southpaw stance from both these guys. Pressure is going to be on. Whoops.
Big left hook from Brown.
There's that
There's that
relentless
wrestling.
takedown. Yeah, and he is a beast. He gets on top, and then he just hands out punishment.
Yeah, man. Deven,
That is his game plan.
Deven is a deceptively strong guy. That just comes from years
Yeah.
of wrestling. I've had the opportunity to roll with both these guys, and one of the things that surprised me about Deven is how strong he actually is, man.
Yeah, and the funny thing is they're fighting at 155. Devin's going to probably spend his pro career at 145. So just to think, how strong he will be at 145, he's going to be a scary opponent.
No, definitely. And a guy with, again, that wrestling pedigree, that's
Look
such
at
a
that.
difficult thing to deal with.
Yeah, the beauty of it, how he thinks too. He passes before his opponent hits the ground. It's just awesome to see, and there's a lot of guys that wrestle well, but then there are people that wrestle MMA well.
Yes.
And he wrestles MMA very well.
That crucifix position for a second.
And in pro MMA, where we have these elbows, this is a much more devastating position.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely a lot of pressure from Deven so far. In control of this fight. Keith is trying to find some daylight, but this is not easy to find against a pressure fighter like Deven.
And one thing you got to take into consideration is how good of shape is Keith in, considering he's taken this fight on such long notice, whereas Deven's been training for, a war with Jamie Espinoza.
I do think the fact that they're fighting at 155 means a smaller cut for Keith. So I think his win should be there, but he's obviously not in the middle of a training camp. So yeah, I see what you're saying. Oh, full mount here. This
Tough
is where
spot.
Deven used to really put it on people.
And now we can utilize those elbows.
Keith is very athletic, though. He's been shaking a lot of positions like this before. But Deven has
Nice
been here
control
many
from
times.
Deven.
Yeah.
Deven looking to flatten Keith out and bang him out.
Yeah. Keith is such a survivor, but
Yeah, definitely.
how long can you survive in these kind of positions? This is rough, and this is trouble. And again, these elbows makes it a whole different ball game.
Yeah, not only, can they do damage, but one of the things that makes them, so dangerous is their ability just to cut somebody and,
Yeah.
end the fight via doctor stoppage.
Yeah, and on the judge's scorecard, there's no way you're winning a fight like this off your back, because Deven Brown is relentless on top. This is how he won a lot of his amateur fights. On top, just smashing people's faces in.
And just, like you said, applying that relentless pressure. I mean, for a guy in the bottom, just to be able to, surviving this type of, relentless attack is absolutely exhausting.
Oh, for sure.
Nice shots from within Bullock's guard.
Yeah. Wow, he just passed her again.
Yeah,
Keith is
Keith's getting beat up
surviving,
here.
but this is a 10-8. This could be a 10-7. Like, this is a brutal round.
And that's just that next level of wrestling that allows, you know, a guy to absolutely control his opponent, you know.
I'll say this, though. This is how Keith won quite a few of his fights. He survived long enough for his opponent to get exhausted, and then he catches him in something.
Yeah, like we said, Keith's super tough, you know.
No quit. As we've already seen.
Yeah, but this has been a tough round for him. He needs to get back to his feet and use his hands.
Yep. Wondering how much time is left here. We don't have a timer on our monitor, but we can't be too far away
Back to
from.
mount
Oh,
again.
wow. There we go. 10 seconds. So we're going to make the second round.
Just under 10 seconds in the first round.
And that's it. Second round. Here we come.
Dominating round by Deven Brown.
Yeah, that's a 10-8, 10-7. I've seen, like, that's a 10-8 round.
Yeah, although there wasn't, you know, there weren't any like massive devastating blows. That was his absolute dominance in terms of passing guard, mounting multiple times, obtaining back mount, and absolutely controlling round. It reminds me of like when you see a guy like Ben Askren fight.
Yeah.
You know, just that dominating wrestling that this allows him to control and just grind out opponents.
Like I said before, one thing with Keith, can't ever count him out. Seen him many times in this position before. Maybe not quite this outclassed as he was in the first round, but each round starts on their feet, right?
Yeah, definitely. Keith needs to keep this standing. He needs to use the power in his hands. Can't let Deven close the distance, and he needs to look to hurt Deven standing and try to finish him standing because fighting off his back against a guy like Deven Brown, that's not a formula for success.
No, yeah, unless you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, you probably don't want to be there. Oh.
Nice shot.
Nice shot, nice tag, but again, I would just not like to see him there at all. Yeah, he should just sprawl until he clears. And again, he should be standing up right now.
You know, throw a few short knees like that and then break away and keep it standing.
Smart fight right now if you know, this is where you really want to be.
But the more he keeps engaged, the more he's potentially going to get taken down and the more he's going to be in a spot where he doesn't want to be.
Yeah, there's still two hands connected on the back of his one leg, and that's all Deven needs. Yeah, exactly what we said. That's the high level of wrestling that we're dealing with.
And like you said, Harley, if you were, you know, an absolute killer off your back, maybe you're comfortable with a guy of that wrestling pedigree taking you down. But otherwise, you know, a guy with Keith's power, keep it standing, use those hands.
He should have separated when he had the chance and get one more shot at landing a good shot.
Keith holding on to that guillotine from the side. You know, honestly, Deven has a perfect opportunity for a north-south choke here.
Yeah, swung through. I don't know. I'm not so sure he would know about it.
But, you know, especially for like a dominating wrestler like that, that's an excellent transition. You see a guy like Jeff Monson who used to utilize that extremely well at the pro ranks. That's
another beast in the gym. Enough tattoos on him, too.
Yeah.
The snowman. Yeah, this fight is, you know, Keith had an opportunity, and the same thing there. He has an opportunity to stand up, and I don't know if it's cardio or what it is, or if he's a little too comfortable, but he shouldn't be comfortable here. I saw his short elbow there to the side, but even if you land a couple of shots, it's not enough here.
No, maybe look to this sweep to elevate the hips and try to scramble out.
Peel that choke. Use your free hand to peel. Use your free hand to peel.
Keith's got to get up.
Yeah, there's not enough urgency on him getting up, though. He's He's kind of like grinding his way, and Deven is never going to let that happen. He has to explode and go.
And it comes back to maybe, you know, he's conscientiously conserving his energy, considering he took this fight in such short notice, doesn't want to necessarily, you know, use his whole gas tank, knows that Deven can go 3 hard rounds. It's hard to tell, truthfully.
Yeah.
Lace the legs. Lace his legs, Deven. Great fight. Great fight. Great fight his legs. Here you go. Work up.
Climbing into almost like a seated mount there, but he has the head, which makes it almost impossible for him to secure the position.
Posture up, Deven.
You're looking for that guillotine, but bailed on it. Keith's got to push off and stand up, man.
Yeah,
Good up
there's
kick.
no tomorrow. I mean, he's lost the first round by 2, potentially losing the second round now by 2. So like, he has to really realize the urgency here and just say, hey, I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go. I have nothing to lose.
And again, you know, if I would go back in the gym and work with Deven, that north-south choke was there again, because
Yeah.
he passes so well. Something that he could add to his arsenal.
Yeah,
Pass back. Use your hand to pass his knee.
I think he's so comfortable with that ground and pound that that's kind of what he's looking for.
Use your hand to pass his knee.
Oh, oy, 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 oy. That's Keith, man.
Keith's got to get up.
That's the thing with wrestling. You're never out.
Body, head. Body, head. Body, head, Deven. Pass, Deven. He doesn't got nothing.
You know what? Another thing too is the backwards elbows. When he gets to these positions, he has not really used those either. Keith from the bottom.
Look for the crucifix.
The saw elbows. Oh, full mount.
Iva.
And short time. We're gonna make third round
In the second round.
again. And I'll tell you this. I'm gonna hop up on a soapbox. I've been to a lot of pro cards in Michigan.
Fight fans, we got
3
ourselves
fights,
another
2 of them
round
into the
match
third
here.
round.
I'll tell you what.
Hats off, Mike Pettinelli.
Red corner featuring Deven Bad News Brown. Blue corner bringing us Keith Pitbull Bullock. Please say hello to the enchanting Miss Megan. She makes her way around for round number 3, which is proudly sponsored to you and me by State Farm Insurance. State Farm Insurance available at all their fine locations. Stop and see it. Big thanks to our cage hands, keeping it clean, safe, sanitary. Your referee in charge of the action. State certified professional, Mr. Doug Gallegos.
We said it before, and I'm going to say it again. There's no quit in Keith Bullock. I have him down 20-16. But
Yeah, you know,
this
the Pitbull he's got to get a finish here.
yeah.
Keep it
That's-
standing.
Second round was maybe not a 10-8. Could have been a 10-9, but he's got great hands. He's got great scrambling. He's got to just go for broke now.
And you know, and from Deven's corner, all Deven's got to do is keep doing what he's been doing for those first 2 rounds.
Yep, and this is exactly what he does. He pressures you back to the cage, and then he picks you up and puts you down. It's hard to fight that kind of fight if you're Keith. It's that relentless takedowns, and one thing that people don't realize is Deven has put a lot of people out with his hands too, so you can't just ignore the strikes as he's coming in.
No, definitely. He has quick hands. He has power behind his hands, and he actually does a pretty good job of setting up a nice triangle attempt by Keith. But Deven's out of that.
Wow.
Another nice up kick.
Yeah, this is why he doesn't want to play guard. He wants to pass that thing on the way down. This time he got a little comfortable and sat in the guard. Never safe. And I'll say Deven, got to be a little careful with his hands. He's carrying them low.
Yeah. Keith, you know, Keith, if I'm Keith, I'm disengaging and I'm throwing my hands because honestly, based on that last shot, Deven looks a little tired. I mean, there's a big difference between those 3-minute and 5-minute rounds.
Yep.
He's grueled for 10 minutes. If I'm Keith, I'm standing and I'm banging and I'm trying to steal this away from Deven Brown.
He will not win a decision, so he has to figure. And this is what
that's not what you want to do.
Exactly. He should have separated and stood up. He was resting. You don't have the right to rest when you're down.
Hammer fist, right arm. Right arm, hammer fist. Right arm, hammer fist. Knees, 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 knees.
Put that knee on him. Put that knee on him,
Knees,
Deven.
Deven.
He's chasing that mount again. Not really listening to his corner. Jake Short's yelling at him to throw knees to the body and to throw hammer fists, trying to soften him up for a better position. And now we're back in guard where he almost got caught last time.
Nice
and
sweep
he's
attempt
getting
for
more.
Keith.
Very
Keith's got to go.
nice.
Big shot.
Wow, he landed across there too. Hey, that's the thing. That wrestling, man.
Pass, Deven. Pass.
He has to pass. That's absolutely correct because, again, and Keith is such a champ, man. No quit, and he's still around. And I don't care how tired he gets, he will not quit.
Nice
And look at
scramble.
this.
He's got to go for broke.
But he's
man.
got to get back up. I don't know why he's spending time here. There's no good space here for him.
Yeah, but if I'm Keith's corner, I'm screaming up because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Circle, circle, circle.
Can't afford to do that. Twice now in this round. Just played right into to Deven's game. Deven's got, I think Deven, being his first pro fights, is realizing these 5-minute rounds are no joke.
Pass. Pass. Elbow to
Yeah,
his knee.
Elbow
to his knee. Pass.
Keith might go back and look at this, footage and go, man, why did
didn't
I
I?
attempt to, grapple it with him? I should have stood up and banged, but that's part of the learning process.
Yeah.
Knees to the body, Deven.
Both guys are going to learn a ton about themselves and grow from this fight, but
Yeah.
he has that underhook. He's got to go. He's got to buck, try to scramble out. Lost it.
Yeah.
Look for a head down, Deven.
Yeah, I mean he's used a lot of energy and just the fact that he's here and he's still trying to win this fight, that tells you everything you need to know about Keith Bullock.
No, hammer fist. No, hammer
And I'll
fist.
tell you,
Use your free hand. Free
there's
hand.
absolutely no doubt in my mind that if he gets an opportunity, he'll take it.
Right hand, grab his wrist. Look for the Kimura.
Deven tried to find that Kimura, but he almost had a couple of fingers.
Yeah.
That elbow.
Gotta have 3.
But this is a classic Deven Brown grinding performance.
Yep.
Kneel down to mount.
It's not necessarily flashy, but it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's effective, and it works.
Yeah, I mean,
10 seconds.
he has absolutely relentlessly pushed the pace the whole fight. He wants to finish. He's not going to get it. He's now an undefeated pro fighter with a 1-0 record. I can guarantee you that. There's no way this call could go any other direction. But he's not happy with himself.
Yeah, he did what he had to do to get the W. He showed an excellent display of his wrestling. That's no secret. Anybody knows Deven Brown. From here out, I'd like to see him, utilize submission more. So he, like you said, where's the ceiling at? He has a lot of room to continue to grow and use that wrestling base, which is just rock solid.
And he's a scary pro matchup just for the simple fact that he is the kind of guy who can go 3 rounds at a high pace and he will push. So at 1-0, I wonder if he will see him back at the next WXC pro card.
Against Deven Brown, our judges have come to another unanimous decision. After 3 very hard-fought rounds, the score of 30 to 27 across the board for your winner. Out of the red corner, I tell you what, we've seen each other a lot of times right here, man. A lot of times in the winner's circle with you here tonight. The only difference is now we don't have to ask you when you go pro because you're 1-0 as a pro, and now you know. This guy's here to say, red, white, blue all day. Please, put your shirt on, take a deep breath. Tell us who you have to thank here tonight. How you feel about your first professional